Thanks for watching Channel 2 News. The live stream will be back in just a moment. This is Channel 2 News, coverage you can count on.
We were a little worried with less parking that it would be an issue, and it has not been. The crowds have come out, and they've really shown us some love this week.
Today marks day 5 of the Nugget Rib Cook-Off, and organizers are already looking at how changes to the event are working out, how security has been increased, plus how the rib judging works. That tops Channel 2 News at 6:30. Good evening, I'm Jennifer Burton. Thanks for joining us tonight. From concrete barricades, fewer places to park, and the number of shuttles offered, this year's Rib Cook-Off included some changes. Ryan Candidate joins us live there now with a closer look at how the changes are making a difference. Ryan?
Well, Jen, one thing you mentioned are the new barricades, and actually all these concrete blocks that you can see right here behind me are located at all the main entrances here at this year's Rib Cook-Off. And organizers say after tragic events like the one that happened in Nice, France back in July, when a van ran through crowds at a special event there, that it was time to boost this year's security. The Nugget was able to set up dozens of these concrete roadblocks at this year's Rib Cook-Off because of a partnership with the City of Sparks and Q&D Construction. And organizers say the added safety measure is already paying off.
We used to have issues when we set up the event where people would just move barricades and drive through as we're setting up, and this has completely stopped that, which has been fabulous.
Some of the barricades even come with the message "No parking" written across them. And because of this year's success, the Nugget hopes to add even more concrete barriers in 2017 and will continue to look at more new ways to increase security.
We're also using police cars at the intersections to kind of block traffic, which has been really helpful.
Another change to this year's cook-off has been the addition of free shuttles, doubling the amount of rides from 1 year ago. Organizers say the shuttle service serves as the easiest alternative to parking near the venue.
People are using it, and it's been great. And I've been getting tons of feedback that, the shuttle's great. It's really fast. It gets you there, and it's a good time.
Because of development that has been happening around Victorian Square, the Nugget plans to have even more shuttles added in 2017. Some of the rib cookers we spoke to say more shuttles and homes and less parking could actually be hurting this year's attendance.
A lot of families, they don't want to jump in a shuttle, come here with their kids, get a bunch of strollers together. They just want to throw this stuff in the back of their trunk, come park, leave whenever they want, not to worry about looking at their watch. This is when the shuttle's coming, this is when that shuttle's coming.
Matt Meyer with Butch's says if development continues, adding more parking will have to happen soon. But regardless of the change, he says the Nugget has made the proper adjustments so far to continue pleasing the crowds.
This is the first year that we're encountering this, and at the end of the day, the Nugget puts on a great event.
I don't think too much development will ever impact the rib cook-off. There's a lot of public street here and a lot of city street, and I think as long as we're strategic, this event will definitely adapt and it'll be successful.
Now, organizers say as homes like these ones right here continue to be used, the Nugget lots and the plaza will continue to be used for the rib cook-off, but the event may also actually start moving this way more toward Victorian Avenue, and more of that space could be used in future years. Covering the rib cook-off live, Ryan Canada, Channel 2 News.
Making us hungry. Thanks, Ryan. One of the most important parts of the rib cook-off is when expert judges pick the best ribs. The judges gathered at the Nugget today to begin the process of picking the winner of this year's cook-off. Here's how it works. The so-called rib runners pick up 4 slabs from each vendor. The slabs have to be part of what the vendor is cooking for the public. The vendor has a raffle ticket, one half of which is in a sealed envelope on their pan of ribs. Head Judge Alan Zeman says this is to guard against the vote being rigged.
That way there's no even hint of any kind of favoritism or that the fix is in or anything like that.
The judges each taste 10 to 12 ribs and mark their scores on a 40-point system. They judge the ribs on taste, texture, and appearance, and the sauce has similar criteria. Zeman says the Monday announcement is really exciting.
It is neat because they have that raffle ticket, so really no one knows. It's really exciting because they all bring as much of their team as they can.
And here's what happens. Zeman says the winners are always the most popular for the rest of Monday and during all of 2017.
Now, here's meteorologist Angela Schilling's first look at the Pinpoint 2 forecast.
And it's been a cool and comfortable forecast for the rib cook-off, especially today. And we started off cold this morning, dropped down to 48 degrees in Reno as a low, 40 in South Lake, and mid-40s in Fallon and Lovelock. Since then, though, we have warmed into the 70s. That's it. 71 degrees, so is the current temperature in Reno. 61 rather in South Lake, 74 in Fallon, and 71 in Lovelock. So that puts us about 4 or 5 degrees cooler at this hour than we were yesterday. And as we get rid of the cloud cover tonight, we're going to see temperatures really cool off quickly. So tomorrow morning it certainly will be cold. Granted, a lot of us have the day off tomorrow, so we can just sleep right through the cold morning, but overall that certainly will be the main story tomorrow. Now, wind speeds, they are sustained anywhere between 10 to 20 miles per hour, and tomorrow overall they will be light, but again a cool start to the day with temperatures in the mid-40s for Reno and Sparks. I'll have a full year forecast coming up here in just a few minutes.
Thanks, Angela. An attic fire in Reno this morning has displaced multiple people. Take a look at our pinpoint map. The Reno Fire Department was called out to Harding Way around 9 this morning. Firefighters were able to knock the fire down quickly, and the damage was confined to the attic and the roof. No injuries were reported. The cause of the fire remains under investigation. 3 people have been displaced. They're being helped by the American Red Cross. And the South Lake Tahoe Fire Department has responded to multiple wildland fires in the past week. This photo is from a fire near Victor and Lewis Streets yesterday. On their Facebook page, officials called this fire, quote, highly suspicious, like others this past week, end quote. On Friday, they responded to 2 wildland fires, one near West Way and another off Norma Street. Anyone with information relating to the fires is asked to call the South Lake Tahoe Fire and Rescue. That number is 530-542-6160. In campaign 2016, a new CBS poll shows Donald Trump trails Hillary Clinton among voters as the race for the White House enters the home stretch. Marley Hall has the latest.
The latest CBS News Battleground Tracker poll shows Hillary Clinton leads Donald Trump 45 to 37% in Pennsylvania. But Trump's campaign says he can still win without the state in November.
We're taking Pennsylvania very seriously. We have several different paths to victory.
In North Carolina, our poll has Clinton ahead of Trump by 4 points. And the Democratic presidential nominee also leads Trump by 2 points in the 13 most competitive states, including Arizona. Trump gave a major immigration speech there last week after visiting Mexico.
They don't know it yet, but they're going to pay for the war.
Arizona Senator Jeff Flake has refused to endorse Trump and rebuked Trump's hardline policy on illegal immigrants.
That's not clear at all. Some people, as he said it was hardening, some said softening. I say it was just confusing.
Voters are still concerned with Clinton's explanation about why she used a private server while she was Secretary of State. 46% say the answers are getting less believable.
She said, look, by using one device, I made a mistake. I apologize for it. I've learned something and I wouldn't do it again.
Voters head to the polls in 65 days. Marley Hall, Channel 2 News.
Closer to home, Nevada voters will weigh in this fall on whether oxygen tanks, wheelchairs, and other durable medical equipment should be exempt from the state sales tax. Question 4 will create a new constitutional amendment if it passes statewide votes in both 2016 and 2018. A similar proposal died in the legislature last year, although it exempted more medical products than the ballot measure and would have been more expensive. Proponents say it's compassionate to reduce taxes for people who need expensive medical devices to live. Opponents say the ballot measure will take away money for public services and other tax hikes will be needed to compensate. Still to come on Channel 2 News at 6:30, Jack Sutton takes us to Eureka, where a series of tunnels built in the 1870s are coming back to life. That's Nevada Backroads next.
You're watching Channel 2 News at 6:30 with Jennifer Burton, Dallas Kolodny on sports, and meteorologist Angela Schilling with your Pinpoint 2 forecast. Thanks for watching Channel 2 News. The live stream will be back in just a moment. Thanks for watching Channel 2 News. The live stream will be back in just a moment.
Built in the 1870s, tunnels once served as a way for Chinese merchants to supply goods and services to the buildings along the streets of Eureka. Closed off for nearly a century, today the structures are coming back to life. Jack Sutton has the story in tonight's Nevada Backroads.
The layout of a 19th century town's streets served a useful purpose. Thoroughfares and sidewalks and arrangement of buildings all helped to facilitate commerce. The history of that activity is found not only on the surface, but underneath these streets. That chapter you'll find in one building in particular, the one that holds a secret.
This building is the Eureka Motel and Restaurant, built in 1873, 1874. There's actually two buildings you can see from the outside. One has square windows and one has rounded windows, and they're joined in the middle.
I've heard some stories about this building, about there being something underneath the earth. Is any of that stuff true?
It's true. There's a series of tunnels underneath there. I guess you'd call them tunnels, but they're actually kind of rounded archways, rounded buildings with Roman arches, all brickwork.
As the weight of 20th century automobiles threatened their stability, the tunnels for safety were collapsed.
We're standing in the first room. The tunnels are actually two levels, upper, lower. We're on the upper level, and you can see the arches. We're just still cleaning out a lot of the junk from the last owner.
Happily, this story doesn't conclude at the end of a collapsed tunnel, not if Rich has his say.
I love history, and being a Eureka native, it's a good way to give back to the community, I thought. Let's fix this whole place up. Let's have people get access to the tunnels. Let's bring them back the way it was, 100 years ago.
Reported in Eureka, Jack Sutton, Channel 2 News.
It was cold this morning, and it's going to be even colder Monday and Tuesday, at least in the morning. The forecast coming up next.
Thanks for watching Channel 2 News. The live stream will be back in just a moment. Thanks for watching Channel 2 News. The live stream will be back in just a moment. Now, here's meteorologist Angela Schilling's Pinpoint 2 forecast, broadcast certified by the American Meteorological Society.
And if you plan on traveling, overall smooth sailing. Just going to be cold, at least here in the state of Nevada, overnight tonight into tomorrow morning. And we even have frost advisories in place for eastern counties into eastern Nevada for anyone here shaded in blue, and it goes through 8 a.m. on Monday. Back off to the west, still going to be cold, but we don't have any frost advisories in place. However, we still could probably see some frost, especially in the higher elevations. Now, our high today still well below average, only made it up to 75 degrees. So definitely a taste of fall. That is a good 10 degrees below where we should be this time of year. Average is 86. We only warmed to 75 today. after a cold start, dropped down to 48 degrees this morning. It's going to be even colder tomorrow morning, especially now that we're getting rid of the clouds. You can see blue skies off in the distance, and the humidity and the dew point, those numbers will continue to drop for tomorrow. So the humidity down to 19%, the dew point down to 27, so we're working in dry air. Even in the upper levels. We're getting rid of the cloud cover. Winds are coming out of the north, and they are still breezy right now, sustained at 15 miles per hour, but they're going to be much lighter for your Monday as this area of low pressure moves farther east. And that's what gave us all the cloud cover. Also is giving some rain into Idaho and Montana. On the back side of it, though, that's going to allow us to see lots of sunshine just in time for Labor Day. So here's the jet stream. Notice how the low moves to the east. However, notice the jet stream still has a dip in it, so that means we're still will be cool tomorrow, but we will see more sunshine. Weak little disturbance passes to the north on Tuesday. That will just make it more so mostly sunny instead of sunny. So just a few clouds on Tuesday. Main story, the cold temperatures, 78 degrees in Hawthorne tomorrow. Overnight lows will be cold. 77 in Lovelock tomorrow. Overnight lows into the 30s there. 78 degrees in Fallon. 71 in Truckee. Nice afternoon, but cold morning, dropping down to 26 degrees. As far as your neighborhood temperatures, will warm slightly more so than today during the afternoon, just due to more sunshine. But it's going to be a very cold start for this time of year, into the upper 30s to the lower 40s. Tomorrow, Tahoe, cold morning, but a nice afternoon with a high of 68 degrees, mostly sunny skies. Thankfully, winds will be light. Tomorrow in Reno, not a bad day, high of 78. Winds will be light, and it's going to be a really nice afternoon. As far as your 7-day forecast, we'll be into the 80s for the majority of the week, and then back into the 90s we go for next weekend. So enjoy the cooler weather while it's here.
Yeah, it was very nice this morning, but a little chilly.
Yeah, cold in the morning, but just lovely in the afternoon.
All right, thanks, Angela. Coming up in sports, Nevada running back James Butler had another good game in the Pac's win on Friday night. We'll hear from him next.
Thanks for watching Channel 2 News. The live stream will be back in just a moment. Thanks for watching Channel 2 News. The live stream will be back in just a moment. Now, here's Dallas Kolodny with Channel 2 Sports.
As most of you know by now, the Nevada football team opened up the 2016 season with a nail-biting 30-27 overtime victory over the Cal Poly Mustangs. And junior running back James Butler picked up where he left off last year, leading the team in rushing with 1,345 yards on the first possession of 2016. Butler found a hole and scored from 50 yards out. That's Nevada's first touchdown of the season. And then in overtime on Friday night, he reached the end zone on this game-winning touchdown run from 5 yards out. Overall, he carried the ball 21 times for 123 yards and those 2 touchdowns. And while the numbers look pretty good, Butler said after the game they weren't easy to come by.
They really started to bring the house. You know, they brought a lot of exotic blitzes that we didn't see from last year. A lot of guys standing up, a lot of different fronts. So it was pretty confusing, but we were able to pull it together. Yeah, we're always happy to get a win, and to get a win in front of our fans at home. It was good, in the brand new stadium. Now we got a great opportunity on our hands next week.
Yeah, you heard Butler mention next week. That's because the Wolfpack will face the number 10 team in the nation, the Notre Dame Fighting Irish, one of the most prestigious programs in all of college football. They're actually in action right now in Austin facing the Texas Longhorns. That's a close game. We'll have highlights of later on tonight. But for next Saturday, it'll be the Wolfpack and the Irish in South Bend. Kickoff set for 12:30 Northern Nevada time. Garrett and Paul will be back in Indiana to bring you all the coverage. Well, over the last couple of days, about a half dozen former Nevada or local football players were cut from NFL rosters, but so far a couple have found their way on the NFL practice squads. First up, Lowry High School alum Jace Billingsley has signed to the practice squad of the Detroit Lions. Billingsley caught 2 touchdowns for them in the preseason, while former Nevada offensive lineman Chris Barker will again return to a place he spent most of his professional football career, that being the Patriots practice squad. Now, if you're unfamiliar with practice squads, each NFL team is allowed to keep a maximum of 10 players who practice with the team, but they don't play. They make about a minimum of $7,000 a week. The Reno Aces' next to last game of the season, up 3-2 to Tacoma in the 7th. Bases loaded. Mitch Haniger says butt and bye to that one. Grand slam, his 20th homer of the year. The Aces take a 7-2 lead off of that, but the Rainiers came back. Down a run in the 9th, Rob Brantley is going to drive one to right, and that's a walk-off 2-run double. The Rainiers win it 8-7. Giants at Wrigley to take on the Cubs, tied at 1 in the 5th. Ire Adrianza with the suicide squeeze executed to perfection. Eduardo Nunez touches home, 2-1 Giants, but back come the Cubs. Bottom of the 9th, Jason Hayward rips one up the middle. That'll bring in a run, and this game headed to extra innings. All the way to the bottom of the 13th, a runner in scoring position. It's Hayward again. Drops one in left center. The Cubs win in walk-off fashion. 3-2 is the final. Giants fall 3 games back to the Dodgers in the NL West because the Dodgers won today. Red Sox visiting the A's. Boston starter Eduardo Rodriguez had a no-hitter going in the 8th. Marcus Semien grounds one to him up the middle. Rodriguez stops it, throws it to first to get the out. No-hitter still alive. Or is it? The A's challenge it. Look at the replay. Semien just safe. So no-hitter no more. And then in the 9th, runner on, Chris Davis lines one to the corner and left. That bounces all around. Danny Valencia, go around third and touch home. Walk-off win for Oakland, 1-0. Aces parent club Arizona looking to take the series from the Rockies, 5-3 in the 8th. Brandon Drury rips one to left, 2-run single, makes it 7-3 Diamondbacks. Same score as we go to the 9th. Former Reno ace Chris Owings at the dish. Owings gonna drive this one down the third base line. That'll get to the wall for an RBI double. Diamondbacks going to win it, 8-5. Third round of the Deutsche Bank Championship on 18. Rory McIlroy's second shot comes so close to dropping in for a double eagle. Take a look. Right there. McIlroy would tap in for eagle. He's going to tie for 7th at 9 under. Everyone chasing Paul Casey. Stay on 18 for his second shot. This one just like McIlroy's. Almost going to drop in for a double eagle. He would tap in for eagle. He leads by 3 strokes at 15 under par heading into the final round.
That's pretty good golf.
Double eagle is, that's almost next to impossible. You can do it. That's why it's not impossible. But.
All right. Thanks, Dallas. When we come back, Angela will have a final look at our weather. You're watching Channel 2 News. Coverage you can count on.
Thanks for watching Channel 2 News. The live stream will be back in just a moment. Thanks for watching Channel 2 News. The live stream will be back in just a moment.
Cool today, but sounds like we're warming trend maybe in the future.
In the future, yes. We have to get past tomorrow morning though, with an overnight low of 45. Nice in the afternoon, high of 78, and warming throughout the week, 90 degrees by next weekend.
Sounds good. Thanks for joining us. We'll see you at 11. Good night.